This is like a shredder thing I'm working on for shredding. Well, been working on a long time, well, quite a long time. It's for shredding old plastic parts up. You know, you go through iterations and you've got bits of plastic left and you want to shred them up into small pieces to put into a filament making device. Well, I've had problems with it. I'll show you this here. This is just like a thing for like a. So I had these cutting discs, but they were on this bolt here, 22mm bolt, and some bearings in here. If you look at my other videos, see a couple of nuts on each side, tightened really tight against each other, very tight. But eventually, put plastic in to be cut, the blades would come loose and start turning the nuts and one thing another. So what I want to do is always look at a keyway, because these cutting discs that I have on here do have a keyway in. Now I've been looking up a keyway shaft M22 and I need something, you know, to get over the price of it, because you know they're on about £125 and stuff like this for a piece of shaft with a keyway, and that's what I found. Anyway, I've copied these two out, and these are two halves here, so to put together. And to get this keyway in here, I'm going to probably have to split it along the middle. So I've copied those two out and I've merged them together, grouped them together I should say. But I still want to find the center of this line, this diameter line here. So the best way I found to do the triple control D. Now this, because there's so many parts on here and so many groups and such like, it's going to take some time to do this. And then I'm going to, I could do a circle. Should I do a circle or should I do a square? Do a circle, he says. So bring in this sort of circle here, rotate it 90. Do the sides, do the segments. Why they don't do this in TinkerCAD already? Why they make you do that? And then I need it to be bigger than this hole. So no, let's do 50, because it doesn't matter if it's much bigger. Well, within reason, obviously. I want it quite a bit bigger than this hole. Let's go down a bit. Doesn't have to be center. Okay, so long as it's going to stick in that hole a bit. Then I'm going to click on that. I'm going to do a hole, group these two parts together a bit. Actually, let me make this even bigger. Let's make it 60. Or could line this up center. Do that 60. Because I want to make sure it is quite a bit bigger than this hole. Right, and now I'm going to group these together, these two, the hole and that one I've done. Now I'll come back when it's done this, because it's going to take a bit of time for me, because I've got a lot of parts on here and there's been quite a bit of grouping and things like that already, so it's going to go slow, but basically it's going to join those together. Okay, it's grouped them together. It didn't take as long as what I thought it would. There's a part. So we need to cut quite a bit of this off. I'm going to sort of hold the box in a way here. make that bigger. Oh, let's do this first. I need to get, so I'm going to chop all that off. Let's I might as well chop that. No, I think it'd be easier just for me to chop this off, because that's just the main center I want. I can do another cubed hole. I mean, you can turn cubes into holes. What the term is a hole, that's for cutting things out in TinkerCAD. Sorry if this is going to be a long video, but I am actually working on this unit, and I don't know how well it'll be in the end. As I say, I've been looking up metals, keyed shafts, and ouch, the prices. I mean, really ouch to me. Right, I'll come back when that's finished. Right, there we are. Again, it wasn't too long to. So now we've got a disc, and that is the same size as that hole. It doesn't matter what size that hole is, you know, even if it's 0.001 sort of stuff bigger than what you think. It is the same size as that hole there. So let's move that a bit closer. It should be still level, so this should fit perfectly in this hole. Okay. Now we've got the size here. Sometimes I think TinkerCAD, see, it's got like a central line down here. Can you see that dashed line? Why haven't I put a center line up the other way? See, it's not perfectly circular. But now we need to find the center of this, which, because we see it's 25.91, 25.91, okay. So I'm going to pop that in the calculator, I think, and find out half of that. Well, it is an odd size, 25.91 divided by 2. Well, it starts off an odd size, which is a bit inconvenient. But it's 12.955 divided by... Can I copy that out? Oh yes, I can. Right click and copy. Don't know if you can do that in Windows 11, not without pressing 5,000 buttons. Anyway, rant about Windows 11. You try right clicking and copy and pasting. Okay. So bring in another hollow box. Let's make this wider. Paste that measurement into there. It's near enough. I don't think it, I thought I hadn't pasted it right there. So I know that's halfway. I want this right on the edge, so I'm going to put it on off here, and off there allows us to move very small amounts. So I'm doing control and cursor down here. You might see, yeah, you can just about, if you look at that tiny bit there, you'll see it's getting way smaller. There we go. So that is a halfway, that direction of that circle there. Oh, let's make this 300 wide because it can't be bothered to. And then let's put this back. I like 0.1, and then I do a shift quite often. Shift does it like 10 times. It's 260, I think. Better. What I'm going to do is click on this handle here and drag this down. Then click on a handle here and drag this across. I want to take this circle out of here, going to keep the same level. So we know that line there, and it looks, if you look at it, it looks halfway. Let's copy this. So Control D, move it over here. Actually, what I'll do is I'll copy the hole as well. Control D, move that over there, same place. So getting a copy of both of them, roughly. So click on that, group those together. So that will give us the top part of that halfway. Right, do that. I'll come back when that's finished. So there's the top part. I should have really filled in these holes before I did this. Those are for balls. Now let's work on the bottom part. So we'll click on this is a copy, F to focus on that. Rotate it so it's down there. Click on the handle, pull that up above it. Click on both of them, group them, and again I'll come back when that's finished. So there we are. I've got the bottom half now. I'll bring these together. Just to show you. Where are we? Okay. Oops. That's the wrong one selected. And see how those two halves fit together. And now those are split down the middle. And the advantage there is, if I have, normally these are all separate pieces. But if I had, imagine there's a shaft or that bolt there going through the middle. I can pop that in there and I can put the top on. Lined up, obviously. These holes need, you know, redoing, and we need some way to connect the top to the bottom. But what I wanted to show you is how to find the center of something and then cut along that center basically. Anyway, you get the basic idea. Okay, so that's an advantage of splitting it up that way in this case instead of the way it was split this way. That would just show you that those are separate, like so. Take that out. Okay, and obviously these, you probably, in this case, you want, if it was this one, I would print this, turn it upside down and do D, get it on the work plane, and then download it and print it. So that's on the work plane. Have to see about that. So that still needs some more work on my case. Let's stop there.